Hello. Just logging on to TikTok live here. It's Saturday. I don't usually go live on Saturdays, but I'm homesick. You can probably hear it in my voice if you know me. So I just thought I would come on here, hang out, see who's around, catch people up. I have a lot of updates. I have a lot of things coming up that are super exciting and fun. Kind of overwhelming for me. It's all good things, but I'm not a very organized person. So I'm like, okay, I have this. Okay, do I have this all together? Do I know when this is happening? Am I going to be ready for that? But it's all good things. So, hey, Kat, how's it going? I don't usually go live on Saturdays, but I'm home alone and I'm sick. So I've been just kind of hanging out. I did a lot of cleaning today, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come on. I'm going to hang out, see how people are doing, see if anyone has anything they want to talk about, and probably share some of the new upcoming things that I have going on that I haven't really had a chance to talk much about lately because it's just been really busy. How are you feeling? I'm not great. I have a sore throat. This is my second sore throat in like the past month. I think actually it was 2 weekends ago. I think 2 weekends ago I was sick, and it was a short one, thank goodness. So hopefully this is a short one. I've already passed into like sort of the sneezy kind of coffee bit. Um, so that's good. Hopefully it's a quick one. Oh no, feel better. Thank you, Alice. How's it going, Alice? Um, but yeah, hopefully it's a quick one. Just been, like I said, hanging out at home, doing the cleaning when the kiddo's not here, which feels good. Oh no, do I need to plug my computer in? Yes. Plug my computer in. Give me a second here. I'm just hanging out in bed. Oh no, where even is my? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Just gonna get myself organized here. Oh man. Somehow my heated blanket came unplugged. What a mess. We're just a mess today. Gotta have the heated blanket. I'm having a big grieving day, working towards a lot of trauma and healing. Grieving days are important for healing. So instead of saying I'm sorry that you're having a grieving day, I'm going to say that I'm proud of you. And I hope that it's not too rough to get through, but I think it's super important to take those days. So then we don't have to carry that stuff around for the rest of our lives. Like, even though it's in there, it'll always be a part of us. Having those grieving days is so important, and it helps. It's just really healing. Even though, yeah, it's not fun at the time. So I see you. And I hope that it feels better at the end of the day. I hope you feel better soon. Thanks, Kat. I don't know if I read that one or not. I've let myself cry off and on and off all day and feel it all. That's so important. And thank you so much for sharing that, because I really do think that it's really important, and that not enough of us do that because it's so hard. I still find myself sometimes like controlling my tears. Like, I'll feel like I'm going to cry, and then I'm like, stop. Like, there's just a voice that's like, stop. Almost like that audio that was going around for a while where it was like, turn it off. And people would do that. I saw a lot of people using that as an example of, like, stopping your emotions, stopping. Yeah, I'm going to have to plug in my phone too. I did not plan very well for this live. Didn't think it was going to work. I didn't think it was going to work because my StreamYard has been an issue, but come to find out, I wasn't clicking myself actually into the live. So yeah, human error, user error. But yeah, it's so important to just let it out. And it does. It comes in waves, like you said, Alice, like off and on all day. You're just kind of in this little weird zone. And when it hits you, like, letting it out is so important. So yeah. I'm really proud of you. We don't tell each other that enough. Like when we see someone healing and doing the work, and it sucks. The work sucks. It feels like it'd be easier to just not do it and just keep living like we've always been living, which is like, oh, distract yourself, find something distracting, throw yourself into a relationship that isn't actually that great. Buy stuff, clean your entire house 45 times a day and like scrub the grout with a toothbrush. Doing all this stuff that keeps us from actually healing. Drinking was a big one for me. Just kind of like how do I say this? How do I describe this? It wasn't like every day, but like quite often, just that slow drip of like, well, I'm going to have my glass of wine. And it sort of helped get me through that. And I don't do that anymore. I find myself having days where I'm like, oh, like this is the kind of feeling that I used to feel like I needed to drink. So yeah, things like that, just letting yourself feel the things instead of running from it is commendable for sure. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Healing Trail. Welcome in. One of the reasons I follow you is because for the first time I felt heard and validated that I wasn't just crazy. Thank you for being you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. You're not crazy. Definitely not crazy. I got out. Congrats. I am so proud of you. I know it probably wasn't easy. Thank you for your help. Thank you so much for telling me. Love your message and that you share so much of your life. You've definitely helped me in my healing. Thank you so much, you all. I say this all the time. It really, it really means a lot to me that you all share that with me, and that you and that you are here. It really does. I know it's not easy, and I always say this, that I wish that you all were here for a different reason. I wish that you all were here because I'm fun. Whatever. And like I was offering something like light and fun, and I don't know, whatever, but here we all are. So, oh, yuck. Sometimes it helps just knowing you aren't alone. Absolutely. It's so important. And I do say this a lot, but I just felt so alone when I was in it, and so crazy, which I know all of you have felt, and probably still do feel, except less so because you have found me and other people like me, who are sharing. But I broke the trauma bond alone. I left alone. I started my healing alone. And, then I started talking about this out loud, and I found other people who were talking about it out loud. And now I have this really awesome community. And so, yeah, that's one of the things that keeps me going. And one of the things that led me to be a trauma recovery coach is like knowing that I can at the very least help people feel less alone. Like I might not be able to come to your house and save you and help you pack and put away your abuser, but I can help you feel less alone. And knowing that definitely keeps me going. Even though I've slowed down lately, I haven't had a lot of motivation to make like video content. I'm still doing the podcast and, sharing things and whatnot. I actually just got, and I didn't even realize it, I just got to the 1 year anniversary of the day that I left here, where I am now, which was also the last day that I ever saw my abuser. I did see their car one day. They drove past me this April, but that was the last time I ever saw them. And so I'm just a couple, I don't know, like a week and a half away from being 1 year no contact, which is just crazy to me. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's been almost a year, which is just crazy. It's hard to believe because, when you're in it, you don't think you'll ever get there. You don't think it's possible. You don't think you'll actually go no contact. You'll stay no contact. that you'll be able to like fight off their advances or whatever. But you can. The difficult topics are too often so taboo and it's lonely. It's good to have a community of love and support. Yes, Alice, I totally agree with you. Hi from Quebec. Hello, welcome in. Woo, 1 year. I know, Kat. Thanks for being on this wild ride with me. I can't believe it. That's amazing. So proud of you and all you have accomplished. Thank you so much. It'll be interesting to see what this next year out looks like for me. Like between 1 year no contact and 2 years, what am I going to do? What will I be like? What will I be talking about? Will I still be talking about this a year from now? Publicly? I don't know. Oh, fuzzy butt. Oh, fuzzy butt. Pip wanted to be on screen, so here she is. Pip just got a haircut, and my son calls her Fuzz Bucket now because she's just so fuzzy. She's just really fluffy and soft and like fuzzy. I'm wanting to start a channel to possibly make some money for me and my babies to live on and have a support group, but I'm scared. Yeah, it's super vulnerable. You have to like, as you start sharing, you get all the reactions. I actually did a podcast on like the types of reactions that I've come across from enablers, abusers, other survivors, people who are still in it. And you have to be prepared to take all of it. There's some vicarious trauma in hearing everyone else's stories. There's definitely some pain in having like all the horrible comments, which you kind of have to learn to ignore. But at first it's really hard. I will say this. I don't make money off of my content. I don't make money off of YouTube or Facebook. A lot of people think that I'm like this is how I make a living. This is at this point all volunteer. If I have a really good month on Reels, I make a little bit of money, for which I'm very grateful because that's all you all. Never made a dime off of TikTok. But yeah, I mean, some people do. And so that would be really awesome. And I totally understand. I think that's a really good idea if you're comfortable with it and if you're safe. But yeah, I'm not the kind of influencer who's like rolling in the dough. So I don't want to lead anyone to believe that, I just come on camera and make videos and then pay for my son to do stuff. I'm a sign language interpreter. That's how I make my money. So I'm just putting that out there. Animals always know when we aren't feeling great. Yeah, Pip is Pip. I got her when she was a puppy and I trained her as an emotional support animal. At that point, I was with my abuser for like 9 months and I was freaking miserable. And I didn't know why. I didn't understand why. And I got Pip and I trained her. And when she was finally potty trained and I did all the work and I had a 2-year-old son, he was only 2 at the time. So I was like miserable, always up with the 2 babies. As soon as she was trained, my abuser started like coming between us and taking her away from me. And like when she would be, I trained her to come sit and like put her head on my lap if I was crying or like anxious. And yeah, she was a huge part of like my abuse. Like she was a pawn. And I almost lost her. I almost lost both my dogs. Lucy's over there on the floor. Lucy's my 900-year-old miniature schnauzer. She can't even hear me right now. She's just laying there. But I almost lost both of them. So I feel very lucky to have them. I've created a lot of content, podcasts, TikTok, YouTube stuff where I've told Pip's story and how I got her and all that, how I got her back and all that stuff. So, ay, perdón. Did I scare you? Sorry about that. Did I touch you with the cup? I'm sorry. What's on your face? Here, I'll put it down. Okay. You're looking real scared now. No, Baba. I know, Baba. Of course, I'll always be here. I'm still so freaking proud of you. Thank you so much, Kat. Hi from Maryland. Hello, welcome in. I've had 2.5 years now, no contact with my abuser. It's been a slow process, but healing. I don't know if I got the rest of that message, but I'm really proud of you. Are you cold? I am not cold, but I almost always have my heated blanket on, even if I'm hot. In fact, I used to have a heating pad. This is really random, but I had a heating pad like your typical, like they're like this big. And I would say, like, all through college, even after, and I would just, like, if I was working, sitting on a chair, or if I'm laying in bed or something, I would have it on to the point that my skin on my back was like discolored because I'm like addicted to heat. I don't like cold. She will stay loyal to you for life. Yeah, she is a really awesome dog. How did you train her? I mean, I'm not going to go into like a huge story about like all the ins and outs of training her, but like first I trained her obviously like the normal puppy stuff, like potty training, you know, like not to bite, all that crap, because puppies are ridiculous. I love puppies, they're so cute, but they're just like devils. And then once I don't know, and then I taught her the basics like sit, stay. Everyone's always super impressed. I mean, she's not a service dog. She's not like, she couldn't be like, she doesn't work with like a deaf person or a blind person or someone who has seizures or anything like that, you know. But like basically whenever I was like getting those feelings, and I think a lot of dogs do this naturally too, and Pip really does. I would give her treats and put her right here and give her treats, and then she just does it. But like I said, my abuser would pick her up and take her away from me and hold her and take her in the other room. Or even if I was like trying to rest and I wanted her to be with me, they would come in and move her away. Her fur looks so soft. I mean, honestly, she's so soft. When her hair grows, she's like a little bit more curly, and it's not as soft, but like her little undercoat is so soft. I'm still trying to escape from the narc now. I have no other family to help. An abusive husband has threatened to hurt me if I call the police. The video you made about how your abuser made you act and feel on your birthday, my abuser does it to me all the time. My children, they're his children too. It's really, really hard. Yes, when you have kids with them, it's just another thing that they hold over your head. My abuser effectively did that with my son, who is not their son, for a very long time, and also the dog. It's very common for abusive people to use kids and pets to even, you know, force you to have kids with them and force an animal on you, which of course you don't see it as that. Bless you. Thank you so much. You're like, oh, we got a dog. Oh, they got me a kitten. Oh, they got me a puppy. But then they use it to control you and keep you around. And I do not have the experience of having to get away from someone like while I also have a child with them. Stronger Than Before, Lisa's Sunny, and Ro from Roller Coaster of Love. Both of those people do share their children with their abusers who they are no longer with. I know it's very difficult. They did get away. Don't compare yourself because we're all on our own journey. But I wonder if you could follow them and see. And they're both on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. But see if there's anything on their pages that might be helpful for you. Because again, I don't have that experience. I can say what I think I know about it, which I'm happy to do. But I wasn't there. Like I said, when I finally left, I was able to take my child, and you know, they would try to say they wanted him in their life still, and that we should share Pip and all this stuff. But ultimately, I was able to hightail it out of there. Made it sound like it was easy. It wasn't. But in terms of threatening to hurt you, if you call the police, try to see if you can get, like, if it's on a text, obviously, screenshot that, save it somewhere where he can't find it. I believe that you can legally record conversations, arguments, and things like that if you fear for your safety. So we have like a recording of something like that so that if you do call the police or go to the police, you can say, yeah, I am in fear of my life. He's been threatening me to harm me. Here it is. I feel like Pip just is trying to steal the show. Does anyone have any questions for Pip? You're so cute. You happy? You happy? Yesterday we went out to the mountains. I didn't take Lucy. I never take Lucy because she's so old, but it was me and my son and my friend and Pip, and we just were out there. There weren't very many people out there. We were like by this beautiful lake in the mountains, and she wore herself out. I knew I was getting sick yesterday, so I'm really glad we went because I got to like be out and like it was beautiful and it's been so nice outside. But yeah, I'm glad we went before I got sick because I had like, okay, well, yesterday I had this like really big day, so it's okay that I'm just sitting here. I'm so thankful for your work, helping us, encouraging us. Sorry. It's hard to talk. I shouldn't be on here probably. I'm growing because of you and Roller Coaster of Love. She's amazing. Also, and Lisa Sunny. Yes, they're all amazing. And speaking of Lisa and I, as well as 6 other people, are going to be in Austin, Texas next weekend. Yeah, a week from yesterday. So 6 days from now, we're having our Narc Avengers meet and greet, which I'm super excited about. I'm excited to meet everybody, all these creators that I've talked to a lot and shared their content, and they've shared mine, and just kind of all helping to help people. I'm really excited for that, and meeting all of you who are going to come out and meet us. But yeah, if you didn't know about that, that's October 15th in Austin, Texas. What breed of dog is she? She is a Havanese. Can you see her? She's just looking at me like, you want to play? She's adorable. She is adorable. She's a little weirdo. Everyone who meets her wants to keep her. She's a good dog. She's super smart. And I almost let her go. I almost let my Beezer have her because I thought that it would be easier. I thought that if I took her, it would cause a lot of issues, and I didn't want them to be harassing me, threatening me. Because the very first day that I left, I took her, and they were threatening me. They were calling me. They were saying they were going to come over. They were going to show up. I was home alone with my son, and I was like, I can't have that happening. And when I left the state of Washington on October 3rd last year, I was gone for 90 days, and I left both of my dogs in our house. All my plants, all my stuff, all of my son's stuff. And I had like several, like 10 plans of like how I could get the dogs back. And I did get very lucky. It worked out. Like it was literally like the day before I probably would have lost them both. Someone went and got them for me. And, but yeah, it's really weird. Sometimes I look at her and I'm like, I literally almost just like let someone else have you. And if I had, oh my God, I bet they would have just gotten rid of her or something. Because when the person got them for me, they were like, they had fleas. They're covered in mats. They were just neglected. And I was not, I think they were probably alone with my Beezer for like 6 weeks before the person got them. Maybe less, maybe just a month. And then someone else took care of them. Someone I've never met in real life. took care of them for the rest of the time that I was gone. But it surprised me that they neglected Pip because I thought that they actually wanted Pip. I knew they didn't like Lucy. They said they're going to send Lucy to a pound. But I thought that they would take care of Pip because they acted like they loved her so much and they couldn't live without her. But they did not take care of her. And then when I actually took her, they didn't say a word. So it was definitely worth getting her and keeping her because it was all just, to mess with me, which I wasn't actually going to give you up. I don't know why you're looking at me like that. I was just joking. I would never. What? What? I would never. I was just telling them a story. Stop looking at me like that. She just staring into my soul. What? Usually Havanese are bigger. She's 13 pounds. She's short. I had a Havanese when I was younger, which was kind of like what sparked my interest in getting another one. And that Havanese was very, very skinny and tall. And as far as I know, they're both, I think there's two different kinds of Havanese, but like two different, I don't know. But the other one that I had was like really, really tall and skinny. But are you offending my poor Pip? Yeah, she just like turned around and was just staring at me like, did I just hear what you just said? Was that you were going to get rid of me? Lindsay, I have a song for you, Narcissist by Lauren Spencer Smith. Thank you. I have had a lot of people send me songs like that, and I think I have heard that song. I will say this. And I always appreciate people sharing books and creators and songs with me because I can share them with other people. One of the books people like to say, ask me if I've read is In the Dream House, which I'm looking at it right now because it's right there. And I have read it and it's very good and I recommend it, even though obviously it's triggering. I do not listen to that kind of music. When I first left, I did. And I had playlists of like painful music for processing the pain and all that stuff. And I don't listen to any of that kind of music anymore. I don't listen to sad music. I don't listen to like broken relationship music, like the things that I listened to when I was in it, like about breakups and about like shitty partners and all this stuff that I don't listen to it anymore. So yeah, thank you for sharing that with me. But yeah, I don't consume any kind, and like I wouldn't even read like a novel. If I started reading a novel and there's something that I find to be abusive, I won't read it. I actually have nothing to do with it. And I don't consume I do not consume other creators' content, even the ones in the Narc Avengers. If it pops up, because I don't scroll a lot, if it pops up and I see it, I will watch it to like support them. But I do not consume any kind of anything that has to do with abuse. I don't know if that's weird. I totally get that. It made me cry, but I'm also newly away from her. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important it's like tapping into that pain and letting it out versus trying to cover up with Band-Aids like I talked about earlier. When Alice was sharing about having a grieving day, that kind of music can be super like cathartic, get in not in the car, but like get in like a place where you can let it out. And sometimes music is really good for helping with that. I just don't, because I don't feel those things anymore. But hopefully you won't either someday. What's the book you mentioned? Is it fiction or nonfiction? Yes. Can you say that book title again? I want to bring it over. Oh, you're in a heated blanket. It is a memoir. In the Dream House. this is especially good for queer folks because this is one of very few. It's her experience with this abusive queer partner that she had, and it's written in little vignettes, so it's easy to time or like devour it. As I was reading it, I was coming onto my Instagram stories, which is something that I've done since I first said the word abuse and started sharing about my process of like leaving my abuser and breaking the trauma bond. I would come in and react to something that she had written, something that stood out to me. And I would come on and say, this made me remember this time that this was happening. And this is how it went down, blah, blah, blah. And I'd come on Instagram. I should find those and make a YouTube video like of my reactions to this. But I actually would like to read it again. I happened to listen to it on Audible. So I would be driving and then I had the book because like within a couple of chapters, I was like, I want to own this book, which says a lot because I don't keep a lot of stuff. I strive to be like kind of minimalist. So I'm very choosy about what books I keep. But yeah, I would like to go back and like, I don't like to bend pages or like highlight or anything like that, but I would go back and like highlight this book and react to it. Like, I don't want to say react to it publicly, but do that processing out loud of like reading this book. And this is what I felt while I was reading it, because it really did kick that off in me, to where, like I said, I would be driving and I would be like, when I get home, I'm going to talk about what I felt when I was listening to that. No, I lose things all the time. I'm going to try to move place. I need to charge my phone, but I can't find my... No. I need to charge my phone, but I cannot find my tripod. Is it over there? Okay, one more place. Nope. All right, we're giving up. I'm just going to hold it for a little bit, even though I hate doing that because I'm a wiggly person. All right. Anyway. It's the disappearing dog. Hello, Pip. Added to my Audible, thank you. I can only get interested in memoirs and biographies. Yeah. I have a lot of like psychology books. Why does he do that? Why can't I just leave? Healing developmental trauma. The body keeps the score. Gaslighting. I don't know that. I can't read the rest of that title. Complex PTSD. Incredible books, but they're harder to digest. They are, like for me, this book was really validating because I am a baddie. Thanks. It's really validating because it's written by a person who was in it and she's sharing her story and she's queer and it's real. A lot of times with like psychologists, it's like, it's really important to understand what the abuse is, why, how it looks, how it's done, why they do it. But yeah, it's harder. It's so hard. I can only do so much of that. I would like to write. I would really like to write a book, but whenever I have time to write, I don't feel like writing. It's like I'll be like really, really busy. I'm like, oh, I really want to sit down and write. And then when I sit down and write, I just am like, I'm not a writer. I can't do this. Power, Surviving and Thriving After Narcissistic Abuse is a really good book. It brings up a ton of... Oh, man. Why we tend to get into those types of relationships and why we continue to stay hurt. as adults. Yeah. And I think it's so important. The topics that you just mentioned are so important for healing and for beginning to put a stop to those patterns. And I don't like anything that puts any kind of blame on survivors at all. Because none of us asked for it, and none of us asked for what we went through as children. But it is our job as survivors to, like, once we've been through it, once we understand what happened, to do the work, to understand, what, how we got there, so that we never do again. What else? I mostly only share my upcoming events and things on Instagram because that's like where I live. I'm hosting a trip to Costa Rica in March of next year for survivors, for queer folks, and even for moms. I think that moms a lot of time have trouble feeling safe and comfortable with travel without their kids, because when we become moms, it's like, well, you're not allowed to do anything. That's not your kid. You have to always be with your kid. You have to sacrifice everything for them. And so, like, providing a place for moms to be able to travel without their kids and not be judged and feel safe. Survivors, queer folks, like, be yourself, bring yourself, try to do it solo if you can. I really want to encourage solo travel, but I'm hosting these trips, Costa Rica in March and then Greece in August. And those links are in my TikTok bio, and they're on my website as well. Actually, I don't think Costa Rica is up yet. But yeah, I really want to be able to provide that kind of environment for my communities, to be able to get out and to meet new people and get out of our comfort zones and check out the world. Costa Rica is going to be like super adventure-y, like volcanoes and the ocean and hiking and sort of more active nature adventure-y stuff. And Greece is going to be more history, food, wine, relax. So it just kind of depends what you're up to, what you like, what you don't like. What else? Austin, Texas, October 15th. Spill some juicy tea, please. I do not have any. I purposefully avoid all the tea in the world. I don't like it. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. I don't know how I get sick so often. Now I'm thinking about rereading this book. Got any secrets then? No, I put a lot of my secrets out there. I put a lot of my secrets on my social media, so that other people don't feel like they have to have secrets. So yeah, you're looking in the wrong place. Story time, please. Again, I don't really have any stories. I mean, I've told all the stories. But okay, I've been hanging out for 40 minutes. I think I'll probably go because I'm getting like really congested, and I don't really want to sit here and like be talking to you guys and just like coughing and hacking and sneezing. So, but thanks for hanging out with me on a random Saturday afternoon live. Like I said, I don't usually do them, but I appreciate you hanging out with Sick Lindsay, keeping me entertained for a little bit. So I don't know when I'll be back, but as always, I look forward to hanging out with you all again soon. Bye, everybody.